Hello, Frisco First. Hey, Mark Caswell and I are here today to announce a really exciting event coming up in the life of our church. And you may have already kind of guessed that we're going to address some current topics, current issues. I understand we have an election going on.
Absolutely. We are diving right in.
Diving right in, literally.
Some controversial topics, to say the least.
Yes.
And we're going to be talking about politics, Salt and Light 2020, rethinking faith and politics, and how do we navigate our way through this season in a way that honors Christ. Now, I think step one is probably taking these hats off.
Yeah, I think so
okay
too.
With that?
I'm okay with that.
I'm very okay with that.
You know, I also wore purple today because purple is the combination
right down
of
the middle.
Yeah, well, yeah. So tell us about, this is a bridge training event, and who do we have coming as our guest, and what are some of the things we're going to talk about?
Absolutely. Bridge training, as you know, is seasonal discipleship, in-depth discipleship, and it's something that we love to do on a short-term basis.
Right.
And so that's when you and I were talking about bridge training years ago, and you're kind of...
Even for your own staff here.
Absolutely. Kind of your vision for what you wanted for bridge training for our church, I'm so excited about. And it's exactly what we're talking about. You know, current events, topics, books of the Bible that we can dive right in on a short-term basis, but an intensive basis.
And go a little deeper.
Correct.
So what are the specific things related to the election or related to a biblical worldview?
Right. Yeah, so this year's, again, Salt and Light 2020, Rethinking Faith and Politics, and just answering a lot of the questions that we're asking as believers. How do I navigate my way through this? How do I express my biblical worldview through my politics in a way that honors Christ? How do I get along with my friends, family, or neighbors that might have a different political opinion? And how do we do that in a way that we don't damage our witness in the process?
Oh, absolutely. And that's, or so many folks struggle with even divide families and friends, and you know, that's not Christ honoring. So we want to navigate that in a way that's helpful and not hurtful. So.
Exactly. And I think that's going to be something that this conference addresses, is kind of the elephant or donkey in the room. Help people kind of release some tension from this. I think a lot of people are fearful. A lot of people are very anxious if their candidate loses, what's going to happen. And we want to help people with that. We want to help people see that God's still on His throne, no matter what.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, we want to give people guidance on a biblical worldview. I think a lot of people don't know what that is, or certainly how to express that. And again, we want to do that in a way that guides our fellow believers, brothers and sisters in Christ, to express that biblical worldview, but in a way that doesn't damage their witness or their relationships. And, you know, social media adds, you know, so much potential division in our lives, and we just want to provide people guidance on that.
So when is this happening? It's coming up soon, isn't it?
Yes, Sunday, October 4th. Have a great speaker, Russell Moore, Dr. Russell Moore. He's the president of the Ethics and Religious Liberty Commission with the Southern Baptist Convention. Wonderful theologian, great speaker. And he's just going to help us provide some guidance on this.
Okay. So and understand one of the aspects of that will be kind of live. You can ask him questions. So we get to actually put him on the spot, which will be fun.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
As opposed to you and I.
Yes,
exactly. Exactly. No, that's going to be great. We're going to interview Dr. Moore. He's going to speak to us that morning, kind of have a part one, part two. And then, yes, people will have the opportunity in kind of a virtual format to submit questions directly to him. And we want people to do that. We want people to share the questions they have. I mean, this is kind of the time to do that in a way that we can talk about it and be candid with one another. I think we need to realize that we have friends in our church that differ with us politically. You know, we have friends, brothers and sisters in Christ that might be voting for a different candidate, and how do we get along? How do we maintain fellowship? And so we're going to talk about that.
I think that's huge. So our goal, and really the heart behind this, is to help our church, to help us to be salt and light, to be those who stand for truth, but to do that in a way that is winsome, in a way that honors Christ, in a way that is helpful. So I'm looking forward to that weekend.
Absolutely. Sunday, October 4th.